Nowadays, formerly we used to have storytellers on the street, isn't it? Huh? And they can make people laugh and tell stories in the streets. Do you find them now? Because we don't go out on the street now. You still find them? Storytellers. Oh, koyo. Selling koyo, I know, I see. And in, where is this? But I read somewhere that some places they are reviving this storytelling. And they have special classes for people to come to learn how to tell stories. Because now many parents, many mothers now do not know how to tell stories anymore. Why? What is the importance of stories? Stories are important because in this story, through stories, you can convey certain good ideas, moral teachings. You can convey this idea. But if you just want to teach them, you try and teach little one 5 precepts. Very boring. And what more if you try to teach them 10 precepts? But if you can tell them certain stories, then they will be able to digest from that story. They will be able to gather certain values. But now, with all the electronic games and videos, now very few people know how to tell good stories. So what they do is come, see the video and watch till 11 o'clock. Then all can go to sleep. No need, no bedtime stories. Otherwise, they want to sleep. Mother go and buy what do you call that? No. Computer game. Small one. Go and tap until I go to sleep. No real stories now. Jataka stories. In the Jataka stories, just like the Aesop fables, you find there are parallels in Aesop fables. And you find good. Now, if I can remember rightly, this story which she told was actually, this is a Jataka story. How? The Buddha was born once as a wise man. And he was the leader of a caravan, merchants. And they had long caravans. Many, not lorry loads, but many buffalo, many bullock carts, I can say bullock carts of goods to be taken from place to place. And this old man, the Bodhisattva, he was very wise. He knows, he has a lot of experience in crossing desert areas. But there were some younger ones following him. They, in the course of their travels, they had some discussion, but not very good discussion. They talked with one another, and they were discussing how they can go faster, See that this old man, he has been leading the train of bullock carts. He's very slow. And he's very careful, he says. He's too careful, asking them to to take a lot of water along with them. I remember when I talk about a lot of water, recently we went for pilgrimage to India, and we had informed all our members that in India, very be careful with water, and if you take water, please try to take boiled water, no? And but some people took it very seriously. That took it so seriously that she brought a few gallons of water from Kuala Lumpur, and it's no joke, big jars of water, no? And I do not know where she put it, and I think half the luggage, half the weight was water. And it so happened that we spent 4 days, in Kathmandu. In Kathmandu, there was good water. Good water, no? So, anyway, this woman was supplying water. And she asked me also, whether I need water or not, Malaysian water. Then, after that, when we arrived in India, by that time she realized the difficulty of carrying the water. But still she did not throw. Still she kept 1 or 2 gallons of water. Yes. And still in India they could drink Malaysian water. And eventually she realized these things, And she's really carrying, taken so seriously. Not that bad. Next time you don't have. If you go for pilgrimage, don't have to take that much water. No? Anyway, this old man who was leading the caravan, he had advised all the young merchants to store water and not to waste water. But one group of them did not take the advice of this old man and had gone earlier. When they went earlier, what they did was, after going earlier, they found further in, as they approached the desert, they found there was no water. So the only thing they could do was, they had to dig. They had to dig the well. They dig a well to get water. Then after that they had to fill up. And then they went. Now after digging this well, that party, the younger party, were all very exhausted, very tired. They were very weak. And then when they go a little bit further, there was this group of beings. These guys, actually they were man-eaters. They were actually called some demons, that live on human beings. They were not ordinary human beings, but they were dressed like human beings. So they tricked those people, the first group, and they had a good feast on them. They killed them and they ate them. Now, these group of man-eaters went to approach the rest of the party, led by that old wise man. Now that wise man realized that this is a dangerous path. And As he came, passed by, he saw well dug out. He knew, in his mind he knew, this well was dug out. Must be the previous party. He did not want to listen, did not want to bring water, sufficient water, so they have to dig this well. But the others in the group, still the others were thinking, there you are. How nice, that younger party, led by the younger man. They have gone first. See, all what the old man, he asked us to do. He asked us to bring so much water. But look, there is a well here. And what's the use of carrying this water? So they wanted to throw all the water there, so that it is lighter and the caravan can move faster. Then this old man says, no. Anyway, they listened. Somehow or other they listened to the advice of this old man. Then as they approached further, they met this group of man-eaters. And these man-eaters tried to trick this old man. He said, why do you want to carry so much water? What are you carrying in your caravan? He says, there are many goods and we have also a lot of water. Why do you want to carry so much water? You know that's right. Look, beyond you. It's raining heavily there. There's more than enough water for all of you. So when these people, the other group, the other younger ones said, yes, they all created this kind of disagreement among themselves. So one party, one group says, throw away the water, make lighter so that we can go faster. Another party says, no, keep the water. Anyway, they did not throw it. And as they went further, the wise man said, that old man says, don't throw, keep the water. Let us go on slowly. As they went on slowly, then they saw a pile of skeletons, skulls. Then this old man told the rest of the group what had happened to the earlier party led by the young man. That young man who did not want to listen to the advice of the old man. They gone first. And they did not bring sufficient water. And so what happened was they had to dig the well. They became very tired. They walked further, and then they were overcome by these man-eaters, and they had to suffer that fate. They all had to die. And then the other young man in the party, they realized, this is the wise man. Then they asked him, how did you know that those man-eaters, they are really man-eaters? Then he said, by the look of their eyes, they have different kind of eyes, not like human eyes. And then he says, how did you know that they would trick you? Because this old man says, you see, when they pointed out to the place where there is rain, I looked up in the sky and I saw there were no clouds there. So how can there rain? So because this old man had that kind of experience, all the other younger ones did not have such experience. So the moral of this story is this, that we should learn, we should respect the elders, wiser, those who have experience, and we should not take our decision in a hurry. Must consider the advice of the elders. And of course, there are some elders who are wise. But there are some older people. They grow up, not with wisdom, but in vain. Do you know? Two kinds of old people. One kind of old people, as they grow up with experience, with wisdom. Hmm? And although they may not have any degrees, they may be illiterate. They have no BA, MA, PhD, D.Litt, and all that. But they have wisdom in their minds. They know how to solve problems. So the younger children, very often after they have gone to university, get degrees, they come back and they look down on their own parents and grandparents. They are so shy to tell them that these are my parents because they cannot speak English. They do not know how to talk to others. Because they cannot read. Even simple books they cannot read. They cannot write. So now the sons and daughters who are degree holders, they feel very uncomfortable with their old parents like that. They feel shy. But they fail to understand how the wisdom, it is through the wisdom of their parents. If the parents can turn back and tell them, you are so clever now, do you know how you became clever? I have not gone to school. I did not learn how to read or write. But I can produce a child, a son and a daughter, and educate them until they are so clever. Who is cleverer? You see. In other words, see, they have that kind of wisdom to bring up. So this lesson must teach us that we should not look down on the elders, although they are not able to read, not able to write, some of them. In our present society, we tend to look up only to those who are very knowledgeable and who are with degree holders. But there are many of such people who, after having specialized in various branches of study, having got all the papers, qualifications, but how many of them really know how to lead a happy way of life? How many of them know how to lead peaceful family life? But this is where we can learn from the older generation how they tolerate, they can live. How many families in the home? 2, 3, 4 families. They know, they can tolerate, they can endure those things. Now, even one family, one house also, they cannot live together. So one family must have a few houses now. Anyway, this is what is happening, and if we want to learn how to live in peace and harmony with one another, we must know the values. The Buddha has taught his disciples not only to give up and become monks and, upasikas, dasasil upasikas and nuns and so on. No. Some people may have the misconception in their minds that Buddhism is only for the monks and all those who have renounced the world. No, that is not right. Hmm? The Buddha has thought. Through his enlightened mind, he has seen what are the necessary conditions that can bring about happiness in the family, in the society. There are. And he has also seen how those who would like to strive to put an end to all forms of suffering. What are these all forms of suffering? Birth, old age, sickness, and death. That is what. Every time when we talk about the Dhamma, the sublime teachings of the Buddha, that we talk about the truth. What is this truth? It is the truth, it is the knowledge which enables us to put an end to that universal miseries of life, old age, sickness, and death. What other branch of studies can point out the way for us to overcome old age? Of course, now they can freeze you up and put you in the freezer and keep you there. You don't grow old, no? But you don't move. And then they can defreeze you again. So in that way it can prolong your life. But still, medical science have gone so advanced. Still they do not know how to cure common cold. Those who have common cold still cannot cure the simple things. Now, that is why we have to turn back to certain ancient values of life and see how to maintain, to overcome those who want, after having lived a worldly way of life and after having experienced and seen all the worldly conditions, and that all these worldly conditions, after enjoying this world, they see that still they are not satisfied. Then they begin to see the unsatisfactoriness of material, worldly pleasure. Then they will go out in search for something higher. What is that kind of happiness? Spiritual happiness. Two kinds of happiness: material happiness and spiritual happiness. Gihi sukhang and pabbajja sukhang. Have you got some experience of pabbajja sukhang? During this how many days you have been here? But now your pabbajja sukham is going away because you are counting the number of days when you are going back. And while you are sitting in your meditation, I know some of you are having these thoughts. Now I have to look for a job now. Given up my job now, where to apply? And then another one says, go back and have to face all those things, How to face these things? Restless mind comes in your mind. Cut off. Never mind. When this arises, never mind. When you go out, that time can talk. For the time being, still try to enjoy this way of life. See, you are free from all your burdens, household chores. No need to go and buy rice, no rice, and then come back and see, you come back to your house, the wife says, no more potatoes, have to go back to the shop and buy potatoes. See, all these responsibilities. And come back, see, this thing is missing, that thing is missing, this one is not working, that one is not working, and then, this child is sick, that child is, failed his exams, oh, big headache. And this one is very successful, going to New Zealand, going to, England for studies, and says, big headache and responsibilities. But it is through these ways, it is while you are living in such conditions at home, that is the place, that is the workshop for you to practice your virtues, to practice your patience, to develop your wisdom, to develop your understanding, to develop your paramis. Actually, an understanding Buddhist will try, if it is still not time, if still they still have that longing, that desire to live, to enjoy this life, then they must know how to convert that house, the home, into a workshop. Workshop for what? Workshop for the practice, for the development of virtues, paramis, perfection. Because you see, when you go back, you have to meet. Parents here who go back will have to meet their children. Children will have to meet their parents and their other brothers and sisters and their friends. And they must know. You must know how. The approach. How to get along with them. If you have appreciated the Dhamma, you must know how to share your knowledge with them. But to share your knowledge with them does not mean that as soon as you reach back and say, come, see, this is how I learn, very good, Buddhism is like this. Not like this, and you go and confront your parents also. That is not Buddhism. And this is Buddhism, you go and tell them. You are going to head for big trouble and confrontation. But you must use your wisdom. Whatever worldly wisdom that you have, you must know how to give Dhamma. Giving Dhamma does not mean to say merely talking, merely giving Dhamma in words. You can give Dhamma in other ways. Like how? By your actions, by your good conduct, by your kindness, by your obedience, you can give Dhamma to them. Yes. I think you will probably meet these kind of difficulties after you have studied Buddhism. When you go back, many of you will meet these difficulties of confronting certain practices that your parents and grandparents are continuing, like the ancestral worship. They offer chicken, duck, and pig, pork. and many dishes. You still do that? How many of your parents, grandparents still do that? Hands up. Oh, see? Then it involves killing, isn't it? You have to kill the chicken and ducks and all that to offer. There you are. You buy from supermarket. Anyway, that is avoiding direct killing. Yes. And now, when you practice these things, these are not Buddhist practices, isn't it? But you should not go back and confront them. Now, I know Buddhism now, see? And you will be getting a certificate. You can show the certificate. See, now I know Buddhism. And you should not misuse your certificate like this. Some other people find, that jobs are difficult. So now they fashion themselves, having got certificate and having got this novitiate training, they fashion themselves as astrologers and fortune tellers, and they put themselves, put up in a newspaper some advertisement, see, so and so, now, graduated from the Buddhist monk training center, and can read your palms and can read your mind. Or if you misuse that certificate, we will recall back. And no, we will bring you back and shave again. Go through another training, another more difficult training. And, all right, yes? Yes, that's right. Everything subject to change. And but if you want to make business, that don't use this kind of ropes to make business. No? Yes. What is that? Oh, what is the certificate for? You don't want, never mind. Some people, because some people like to see, like to compare. That's why we ask you to bring photographs, with lot of hair, and see your hair, see your head without hair. Which is better? You can compare and you can see. And no, actually, it serves as a reminder that you can see it again and again. And if you have lived a good life, if you have followed systematically the knowledge that you have gained, and the merits that you have performed during this 1.5 weeks, you can really enjoy. When you see that again and again, when you have a lot of trouble, go and look at the certificate. Then you remember, there is another way I can turn to. So don't get fed up. And all the things, worldly things cannot work for you. Disappointed, frustrated is your life. Don't think that you can get happiness only from material things. There are other ways by which you can get happiness. So this can remind you. Those photographs that you can remind you. You can use it, but not to abuse them. Okay. And so, this Dhamma, now you have to know some Dhamma with regards to how you can share your Dhamma with others. How you can share the Dhamma with others. Not only through your speech, but through your conduct, through your action. And even by your silence, even by your silence. And you will able to give Dhamma by not answering back. When your parents start and shouting at you, pointing out your mistakes, what do you normally do? Automatically you defend yourself. Now you remove that defense mechanism and you observe, breathe in and breathe out mindfully and calm your mind down. And don't answer back. Keep quiet. Then your parents will say, what is this now he has learned? And those who have been shouting at their parents, now they go back, no more shout. Now they speak very kindly to the parents, very softly to the parents. Then the parents will say, oh, what a change. Those who have been very fussy in taking food, now they go back. Anything I will do. And now can put on one plate, anything one plate can put. These are the things. These are simple things that you do. You can change the mind of your parents. So the first thing to do is to win the confidence of your parents. Not to go back and say, this is not Buddhism, this is Buddhism, that thing you should not throw, you should throw away, and so on. Then you cannot give Dhamma in that manner. The first thing to establish is, between a teacher and a pupil, or between parents and children, if you want to teach them, first thing you have to establish is confidence. Give them the confidence, the faith. So, giving metta, these virtues are important, very important. Not only for the lay life, also for the monks. Not only for the ordinary monks, also for those who have attained various stages of sainthood. Among the noble Aryans, the Buddha has advised them to practice certain virtues. What are those things? 4 great virtues, important virtues to practice. What are they? Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekkha. These 4 are called sublime abodes. Abode means shelter. Sublime abode means sublime shelter. A shelter where your mind should reside. In other words, you can consider these 4 places, these 4 virtues, as 4 houses where your mind should reside. Where is your mind residing now? Do you know? Do you have a house for your mind? Not yet. Do you have a house for your body? Yes, you have a house for your body. Right? You have a shelter for your body. But what about a shelter for your mind? Your mind also like to go out here and there, right? And travel far away. When it travels, it doesn't travel with anybody. It travels alone. That's the nature of this sneaky mind. Go out alone, far away. And then, when do you bring back? How do you bring back? Where do you bring back to? Where? You get lost. That's why the mind gets lost. No house. No proper house to reside. So now some of you who have learned how to breathe in, breathe out, and watch the breath, they bring their mind here, near the nose there, near the nostril. Others put their mind near the stomach. Watch the dormant. Those who watch their stomach, will also become hungry all the time. And so there is an advantage in watching here, so that you don't watch the hunger. Bring to your attention any place that you have learned where to bring your mind to. That is why you need one object whereby you can take your mind again and again. Then you can send out your mind. Your mind you need a platform to rest. And from time to time, to take them to good places, not only to bad places. So what are these good places to take them? To the house of metta. Metta lodge, it says. What is this house of metta? Whenever there are thoughts in your mind, wishing all beings well and happy, having the thought that may I be free from enmity, free from anger, may I be well and happy, and then wishing all others well and happy. It is when you systematically learn how to think well of if you are leading a religious life, then you think of your religious teachers first. Otherwise, you can think of your parents. Think of your parents, mother and father. Then you can think of your school teachers. Then all the other members of your family, brothers, sisters, those parents can think of their children and wish them all well and happy. Then to all your relatives, friends, for the time being, if you can cultivate that, later on, after you have established your mind, that you are able to radiate to all, you are able to think, you are able to send out your thoughts of loving kindness to all of them, then you will go one step further to wish even those whom you do not know. While you are traveling, you can radiate your loving kindness to others, even though you do not know them. You need not smile and laugh at them, because if they are not well and happy, you also will not be well and happy. And I will tell you one experience. My first pilgrimage to India. And some of you might have heard this. And I was on my way from Calcutta to Buddha Gaya in a train. And I was seated in the train, and right opposite me was a man who was very fierce looking. From the time he saw me, I think he did not move his eyes. And really instilled a lot of fear. And I was traveling alone. And I was carrying books with me. Buddhist books to be sent to Buddha Gaya. I looked at him and then suddenly recalled metta. So in my mind I say, so may he be well and happy. I close my eyes and says, may he be well and happy. May he be free from anger. Free from anger. May I too be free from anger, free from anger. Then I slowly open my eyes, look by the side. He's still looking at me, like that. No? Then I turn aside. I could not move because it was full, packed. You see? So I cannot change seat, and I had other things to carry. So I tried to take one book to read. No? The art, when I travel in England, I know how these people, they carry newspaper, but they don't read newspaper, They put down like that. Every time, because I have seen, and they carry newspaper, but they look around. And especially if they see some people they want to see, they put down their newspaper. That is how. They are doing it in a very polite manner, not to embarrass others, but by reading this thing. So I also did that, And I took the Buddhist book and tried to read something, and then I looked at him again. Again, he was still staring at me. Fantastic, his eyes, does not move. I can still remember him. Very fierce looking, not friendly at all. And all through the journey for 6 hours, could not move, could not stand, keep on, never mind, metta. Then I was thinking, doesn't really work, this metta, And I reached him, well and happy, well and happy, well and happy. Then, until sometimes I could not, I gave up, I went to sleep, And then get up again, I see him there. Then reach the destination. Then, I got up. And he was still looking at me. Then this time he made a funny sound. Ha! Answer. What is that? Put his hand. I thought, Then he was actually putting out his hand now. And he asked me the things I was carrying. Then I gave him, Then he carried one. Then I carried the other one. Another one. Carry both. Then, there was a mixture of fear. I did not know what he was going to do. I could not speak what he spoke, I could not understand him. So, okay, come. And then he nodded. So he followed me. And so he carried those heavy books for me. Now I knew he was wanting to help me to carry this thing. You see? And then, quite a long way until I got a taxi, and he carried. Then he put down. He walked away. Now I see how metta works. Although you cannot change their faith, but you can change their heart. You can change their mind. So, learn the art of metta, loving kindness. The purpose of loving kindness is to reduce and to overcome hot-temperedness, anger in the mind. Reduce it with anger. You can try these things. Sometimes it even works with some people, not only with yourself. Those people that your friend and his brother or certain person, not in good terms, always fighting with one another. When you calm your mind down You can put them in your screen, mental screen, and then you wish them. May he be free from anger. He too be free from anger. May they talk together. May they be friends together. Yes. It has been proven useful. It works many occasions. No? This is the force of metta. Do you know what the advantages of metta are? When you practice metta, yes. 1. Facial complexion change. What? Sleep peacefully. I have heard how some novices get nightmares and so on. Yes. Because they don't practice metta. If you really practice metta, this is the best way to overcome nightmares and very sometimes disturbing dreams. But you have to practice before you go to sleep. And do your metta. Wish all beings well and happy. And then you go to sleep. You will sleep very peacefully. And get up. When you can sleep peacefully, you will be able to get up peacefully. When you are able to get up peacefully, then what happens is you have cheerful face. Your complexion, good complexion. All those who have been used to putting on all kinds of foundation and makeup and whatnot ups, and you can learn the art of natural beauty, natural culture, beauty culture. True. Because if you maintain that anger, hatred, jealousy, envy in the mind, no matter how expensive stuff you put on your face, you are going to show dirty faces many times, During the time of the Buddha, there was this incident when a group of ladies, a group of women passed by. They were dressed in beautiful saris, and they had hairdos. All kinds of hairdos. Long pony, plait tail, and this tail, that tail, And then they were laughing, giggling on the road. Then Ananda saw these things. Then Ananda went to the Buddha and says, "Oh, Master, a group of women, beautiful women approaching." Then the Master says, "Where, Ananda?" And as the Buddha turned the face, Ananda turned and saw what were they doing. While they were walking, they were teasing one another. And then they became angry with one another. And they started to show their ugly faces. Then the Buddha says, "Where is the beautiful woman?" Then Ananda looked, their faces change now, So simply by putting the colors, some people put red color, black color, blue, black, and But so difficult to become beautiful. The real beauty lies where? In your virtues. When you have virtues in you, your complexion will change. Slowly. It takes a little bit time, Then, this is an advantage of metta. The other advantages of metta is, when you practice, human beings will be near and dear to you. Naturally, when you have good state of mind, because this word metta is actually From metta, we derive metta, friend. It is the practice of metta will help you to become real friendly person. A true spirit of friendliness you will have with others. Then, not only human beings, non-human beings also love you. Be careful. But certainly not the hunters. But all the devas, celestial beings, they like to associate with you. They like to associate with you. When you have metta, then it is said that your concentration, you will be able to concentrate quickly. When you practice, develop this, very quickly you can get into concentration. And another advantage is that no fire, poison, weapons can harm you. But I do not advise you to go back after practicing metta and play with fire or take weapon and start chopping yourself up. Because they said there was an experience. This is related by my father. He had a friend who was learning certain art of self-defense. By reciting certain verses and doing certain things, they can make themselves invulnerable against bullets. No? So the Guru had taught this friend of his how? By shooting right in front, shot, and did not die. Then his friend, after learning a few lessons, went back home. And then also, of course, actually he had a small squabble with the wife. And now he wants to threaten the wife. But then he thought, also because he had learned this art, so he wanted this, and then this was he threatened. He took the gun and shot. Bang! He collapsed, died. He really died. And because we do not know whether the teacher had really mastered this or whether he had shot with blank bullets, we do not know. But there are certain arts, no doubt there are certain arts that can prevent. And it is true, those who have mastered the practice of metta, no fire can burn them. Do you know a certain state of one's meditation when this is called the highest level, when the person reach that state of Nirodha Samapatti? When this person reach Nirodha Samapatti, then he can remain in that state and for days, usually for 3 days, 5 days, 7 days. And the whole place where he resides, no fire can burn. His robes also cannot be burnt. And it has been tested with this teacher. People had heard how this teacher, this meditation master, and people had heard about these things, how when he gets into this state, then an army came, this one soldier came. He wanted to test. No? As soon as the master had moved from his seat, he took the gun, machine gun, and he fired. At the spot where the master sat, the bullets could not penetrate. Bullets could not penetrate. It all dropped short of certain place. No? Then after some time, when that energy, slowly dissipates, then he shot. It went through. So that was how some people had tested. Then they realized, yes, it is true that such a person was able to develop his mind. And the pure state of mind, no, nothing can harm. But you have to reach that state of mind. Otherwise, we can still explain how. Logically, we can explain how. When you do not harbor anger, hatred to others, then if you keep on practicing this, then naturally people will not want to harm you. So this is another way how you can see, how you can be free from these harm. Then other advantages. All these things we have mentioned to you, the advantages of metta, loving kindness, that you can experience within this lifetime. But important moment. What is the most important moment of your lifetime? Not next life. I say lifetime. This lifetime. Important moment is your birth. And then the next moment is death. Dying moment. Very important moment. You must know how to die. Yes. The art of dying. What is the art of dying? To die peacefully with a clear, unconfused state of mind. To do that, you have to train yourself while you are alive. Don't wait till the last moment because you can't learn very much in the last moment. Now you have to train your mind. How? How do you train your mind? Always you must know how to arouse in your mind mindfulness, awareness, metta. You must know how to arouse this mind. And how to free your mind, calm down your mind. You can use anything. Those of you who have beads will use the beads. You can recite anything. You can recite. Buddho, 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 Buddho. And still in the dying bed can have Buddho, Buddho, Buddho. Your mind is calm and clear. Then peacefully you go because you know this is only a temporary end. Then give up peacefully, and so that you can peacefully come. Now new, fresh, fresh skin, fresh body. Yes. So don't be afraid of that. Then, so metta, the practice of metta will help. Those who harbor anger, hatred to others in the dying moments, you can see how difficult they go, how difficult it is. So if your metta can die peacefully, then the next benefit is next life. Good birth, happy birth. These are the advantages of metta, the practice of metta. to develop again and again, again and again. Those who have confidence in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, you can very quickly, you can think of the goodness of the Buddha. Recall the Buddha in your mind. Buddho, 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 Buddho. And then think of the great qualities of the Buddha and the compassion of the Buddha. Immediately you think of compassion of the Buddha, you can suffuse your whole body with the thoughts of compassion. Then naturally the force of metta, you radiate metta to all. Right. Then the next virtue is karuna, compassion. Compassion. How do you practice compassion? You practice your compassion when you see somebody who are less fortunate than you are. They may be sick, they may be handicapped, or they may be fairly normal but very ignorant. They may be very clever, very intelligent, but spiritually they are very sick. Spiritually they are bankrupt. So you can help them. Oh yes, there are some highly intellectual people in the world today, but when they come to spiritual values, they are really bankrupt. They don't have any spiritual values in their mind. So we need to give them, have compassion towards them. So slowly, by gaining some confidence, then you can give them the Dhamma. Then, by cherishing these thoughts in the mind, that may this being, may this person be free from suffering, be free from illness, sickness. That is a kind thought. That is how you build up compassion in your mind. When you have these compassionate thoughts strong enough, then it will motivate you to go out, to be expressed. This thought will express in your speech, kind speech, and then kind bodily action, whereby you give a lending hand to those who are in need. That is how karuna. When you perform, when you have compassion others, get outside from your house. Those who live confined only to one house, one family, you will find that, you think that you are the only one in the world, and you are so happy, no trouble, no suffering. But when you get out of your home and see outside, you can see suffering. Various people have various kinds of trouble. Some have financial trouble, some have health problems, some have in-law problems, some have outlaw problems. So there are all kinds of trouble you find in this world. But when you go out and put yourself in a certain position and try to help others when they are in trouble, then you will begin to see that whether or not this Dhamma, whether or not the truth of dukkha, you see, everywhere you can see unsatisfactoriness. And then it will give you an opportunity to find out what is the cause of it. Don't only become busybody to find out why people are suffering like this, and you ask, some people come and they are very busybody. They want to know your sickness, all your sicknesses, and then after that they walk away. They don't bring any medicine. Hey, why are you like that? That is only a busybody. But if you find out he is sick like this, you can find out what happened. Then you can understand, these are the causes. This is the result. Then you can enrich yourself. Even when you go to, sometimes people go night visit, funerals. Then people talk about the life, the goodness of that man. Then you can see he has led a good way of life. See how he is able to die peacefully, and see how people come together. On the other hand, some people who died very miserably, look at his life and you can see cause and effect. Cause and effect. Study this cause and effect. This is how we can gain our wisdom. So by having compassion, by helping others, you can understand what suffering is about. You can understand the cause of suffering, and you will be able to help others and see the end. The more you help others, the more experience you get. In order to help others, you must think of various methods to help others. That this is how you develop your skills. You use your mind, develop your wisdom to help. Then, when you help others, when others are free from suffering, look in their faces, faces of cheer, happiness. When you see them happy, you become happy. Mudita, another virtue of mudita, that is sympathetic joy. Sympathetic joy. When others are happy, not only share in the happiness of others, but also when you see others perform some good action, do some good actions, you can become happy. Now when you travel by train or you go by bus, and then you reach your destination, then you see how the young ones have reunion with the older ones. Children reunite with their parents. And you see them so happy together. And then, what thoughts appear in your mind? You should rejoice. Share this happiness. You get the happiness. This thing. And some people who have no children, they look, they see children, many children coming, they get very envious, very jealous. How come these people got so many? And jealousy, envy arises in the mind. Try to be content with what you have, and know how to cherish happiness when others are happy. This is how you overcome jealousy, envy, with mudita. Then the other house to practice is upekkha, equanimity. What is upekkha? What is equanimity? Balanced state of mind. How to develop your balanced state of mind? Calmness only? Mindfulness? But the real upekkha can only arise through wisdom. When you understand the law of cause and effect, the law of karma, when you understand the Four Noble Truths, realize some aspects of this, then you can have your upekkha, a mind that is not shaken by all the worldly conditions. What are the worldly conditions? How many worldly conditions are there? 8 worldly conditions. What are the 8 worldly conditions? Happiness, sorrow, some more? You must start systematically. There is gain. There is loss. One time you can make a lot of money, and a time you can lose this money. Profit, loss, or gain and loss. Right? These are worldly conditions. The next pair of worldly conditions, praise and blame. One day people praise you, another day you may be blamed. Then fame and ill fame. One day you become famous, everybody knows you. Next day you become notorious. Everybody know all the bad things about you. Ill fame. One day you have happiness. Next moment sorrow arises. These are worldly conditions. An equanimous mind, upekkha, is that mind, that state of mind that stands aloof these worldly conditions. Now, so you know these four. Whenever your mind resides in these states, in these sublime states, metta, radiating loving kindness. If not, karuna, compassion. If not, mudita. When you have mudita, you have joy, you have happiness. Then upekkha, equanimity. You wish, I know some of you think, we wish everybody well and happy in this world. But then you know that many people are not well and happy. Many people are dying. Many people are being shot. Now, many people have all kinds of fear. Famine, volcanic eruption, air crash. You know they are not happy. So, you think, how can? No. You radiate this thought. But you do your part. Now, those who do this part, then you must not be upset. When you hear the news, others are not happy. Because have that understanding that all beings have as their inheritance their action, good and bad action. When you understand karma, sometimes you have all the kindness you want to help others who are in trouble, but they cannot overcome their trouble. Then you cry, you get upset. Is that the way? You have a lot of kindness, a lot of compassion, but there is no wisdom. Then that is also no good. I remember this story about a lot of compassion, wanting to help others, but no wisdom. Do you know that story of the monkeys? The monkeys who want to help the farmer? This is also a Jataka story. And this monkey, the farmer wants to go for a vacation. And the big monkeys came and said, we have received a lot of food from you for so long, now we want to help you. We will look after your farm while you are away. Then this farmer was very happy. But the farmer said, remember, you must not waste. Please help to water my plants while I am away. But remember, don't waste the water. Then the big monkey said, okay, yes sir. Very helpful monkeys. Then, when the farmer went away, the monkey, gathered some more small monkeys and said, now we will water the plants every day. So they start watering the plants every day. And then they found that there was very little water left. So the chief monkey remembered, said, the boss said, the farmer said, you should water the plants but you must save water. Do not water too much. Then the monkey thought, how to save water? How not to, waste the water? So they used their monkey mind. They used their monkey brain. And from the monkey brain, they had this solution. What was the solution? Just pour sufficient water for each plant. How to know sufficient water for each plant? The only way for them to do is they will pull the plant, see how long the roots, and then pour water and then put back. So they did one by one. Big plant, they remove it, see how deep the roots are, put the water, and put back the roots. And they were very helpful monkeys. When the farmer came back, what did he see? All the plants wilting. And although the monkeys have watered them, they have followed the instruction, exact instruction. Water them just sufficient for the plant. Don't waste. This is where they use, they are very helpful, but no wisdom. So when you want to help others, have wisdom. That is why these virtues, when you have wisdom, then you can see when others do not respond to your help, you can maintain your equanimity. Right. So now, these 4 virtues and metta finish. Now where are we now? You want to ask some questions this evening? Yes. Whether you radiate a loving kindness, whether the other person can receive it or not. In the advice given for the practitioners are these. In the beginning, when you want to develop this, you should try to develop to those who are receptive to this. Those, whom you know, and those who are near to you and dear to you. So you can radiate to them so that they can receive. Then, you should avoid, in the beginning, you should avoid a few kinds of persons. One is those who are dead. Because when you begin to think of the dead ones, and you think too much of them, then what happens? When your mind is concentrated and you think of the dead, and if you have attachment for the dead, then certain emotion may arise. Sometimes certain remorse may arise in your mind. And emotion may arise. So it will disturb your concentration. So for the time being, you leave them aside. Then also, those whom you have emotional attachment, strong emotional attachment, boyfriend, girlfriend, special friends, when you radiate to them, your mind go to them, then your mind don't go anywhere else. Your mind just stay there. Right? That's the end of your metta. So what develops becomes tema. Lust, passions begin to develop. So see this, the near enemy of metta, not the sensual love, but the spiritual. Then another kind of person to try to abstain for the time being is those who are hostile to you, enemies. Because if your mind is not developed yet, when you think, actually, the real practice of metta should be extended to even those who are hostile, even your enemies. But I don't tell you first because when you start remembering your enemies and those who are very hostile to you, you get, when you look at them in your, when you see them in your mind, more aversion arises. And then your mind becomes tired. So for the time being, put them aside until your mind is strong enough, and then you can radiate to all. So, when you sleep, before you sleep, clasp your hands. The more frequently you clasp your hands, the better. That is why, how when they meet one another, this is the salutation. Swadika, Ayubowan. In Sri Lanka they say Ayubowan. Then you go to Thailand, they say Swadika. Like that. And you go India, they say Namaste ji. Namaste. Namaste. This way. And then you Burma also do this. I do not know what they say. And so this way, and then you give metta, give. Here, well, if you go to a Chinese temple, they all with you. Amitofo, Amitofo, Amitofo. It's okay. You can say Amitofo, Amitofo, no? You can wish them. Well, because this is the name of the Buddha in West, in the Pure Land, in the Western paradise. Somebody once asked this question about Pure Land. And now I remember this person asked a monk, and a well-known monk, and in the university. And the university student asked this monk, where is the Pure Land? Because the Pure Land is said to be in the Western paradise. So where is this Pure Land? Then the master says, where the mind is pure. Where the mind is pure, there resides the Pure Land. So now you know Amitabha? There is a long history about Amitabha. It dates back even before Buddhism. Rahmasta, Zoroastrian. Zoroastrian? Persian religion. And infinite light. Then how the pilgrims, Chinese pilgrim had gone around, had taken that route from north, how they went up. And then they have heard these things, they have recorded these things in their books. Even people like Fa Xian, Xian Chuang, they traveled in India, 5th century AD and 7th century AD. What they saw in India at that time, understand, at that time there were already various influences. There were Brahmin influence, Hindu influence, there were other influences as well from the neighboring countries. Those things they had written down and then taken back. That is why when you read the Amitabha Sutta, you will find that there are parallels in St. John's, what you call Gospel, where you will find in the heavens, when you are born there in the heaven, there are white horses, white birds, they are singing, and you just have to mention the food that you want, the food will come to you. All the houses there are start with, very gold, silver, sapphire, rubies and all that, And even the roads are made of, what? Huh? Diamonds and all the precious stones. The question is whether it's going to be precious anymore. If the roads are made up of all that, if the houses are full of, decorated with all the precious stones, then I think our piece of tar and charcoal will be very expensive there. And so that is the nature of the heavenly paradise, because the ordinary masses, they want to be happy. Their concept is to be happy forever. So, in order to bring them to Buddhism, this is a skillful means to bring them to Buddhism. But they have different levels. Now they have different levels of that paradise. You want to go to the first level, you must do this. You must chant so many times. You want to go second level, not only chanting, you must practice this precept. You must go to the next level. You want to be born there. There are lotuses waiting there for you to sit down there. But for you to occupy the reserved seat, you have to practice purity. You have to purify your mind. All right, no problem. And as long as this is considered a means to. But don't try to intellectualize and say, because that is not historical Buddha. That is a created Buddha. Yes. Make it clearer. Just say, why bluff the people? If there is no such thing, say no such thing. Now, remember, these skillful means, suppose there is a story of how one house is on fire, burning. Now this family lives in there. The father escaped. Father and mother escaped. But there are little children there, still playing in the house. They do not know the danger that the whole roof now burning. But down there, still they are playing. Now the parents are thinking, how to bring them out. They could not bring them out because if they were to run there, it will be too late for them to run out. So how are they going to help their little ones? You see? And when you shout out, fire, fire, they will be panicked. They'll run here and there. So what are you going to do? Now this parable says they speak to them very nicely, or they take some toys or something, and they say, come, let us go to cinema. Come quick, leave that side and come, let us go. Or something that they like, something that they know. This is a means whereby you take, because when they are young at that age, they do not, they do not respond so easily to just by facts that you can tell them. You say, how is it burning? They do not know. So you show them something that they like, or you tell them something to bring them out. Then they come out. That is how you can save their life. This is how This is how Mahayana Buddhism explains, by introducing this, not for you, not for those thinkers, not for those intellectuals, but for those who have faith, devotion. Because we have to understand that the different developments in our spiritual progress, spiritual path, first we develop our faith, and then when you have faith and devotion, your mind becomes strong. Then, when your mind is calm, you begin to start thinking. When you start thinking, you develop your intellectual. So you have from the devotional to the intellectual, and eventually, to get to the highest wisdom, even this intellectual logic, you transcend that with insight, with intuitive wisdom. So step by step, slow by slow. So that is why sometimes, although these are different means of bringing people together, the only thing is that there must be properly guided and certain times where they are taught how to give up those toys and do some serious work. You see? If they keep on clinging to these toys, then all the devotees will not grow up. They become little children. And this is also, those religions with all kinds of idols, they are actually trying to teach people through symbolism. But unfortunately, people cling to them. And so they remain there. This is where you call, even in the spiritual development, you have kindergarten class, you have primary class, you have secondary class, and you have university class. So those who are in university class should not look down and criticize what the kindergarten classes are doing. See, because they have been through that also. Right? So slowly, let them do their work. That is why when there are many devotional people, in the presence of devotional people, you should not ask this question, is there a paradise? Is there this, Western paradise or not? You should not disturb them. When they have built up their intellect, like you people can think, we shake you a little bit, then you have something to hold on to. Give up that and take something higher. Develop your mind. Right.